Harry's wife. She's distraught. It is a sad, sad, sad day. Perhaps you can somehow find it in your heart to express your sympathy for Harry's wife. She's not had it easy, you know. After all, a talentless individual, unlikable, unpopular, with the frame of SpongeBob SquarePants. Life has been so cruel to this noble and oh so brave feminist. She has fought against the many prejudices that she has had to experience, such as picking out ginger poobs from her tongue, the fact that her husband is an idiot, and yet, despite all the odds, she has fought against prejudice and hatred to live in a large mansion with 33,000 flushing toilets. She is able to spend vast sums of money on clothing, and she doesn't care whether it fits or not. Regularly, she can tell people about herself by spattering the world with PR puff pieces through HelloPeople.com, Harper's Bazaar, Town and Country, Marie Claire, Cosmopolitan, and others, making a plasterer's radio look less like a Jackson Pollock affair and more like a barren wilderness. No doubt your heart bears such a heaviness as you contemplate the distraught nature of Harry's wife, and I have little doubt that your sympathy will overflow for this saint who has been placed upon this earth to fill our ears with beige word salad and better us through fridge magnet platitudes. If you can, open a drawer, take out the box, look inside the box and find another box, look inside that box and find another box, and keep repeating until you have the teeniest, tiniest box in front of you. Then open it, and inside you'll find a teeny, teeny, tiny speck of a mote of a scintilla of a violin. And ever so carefully, with microscope and tweezers, you can play this violin to express your sympathy for Harry's wife as she reveals through the Daily Record that she was left distraught after her Spotify snub and a humiliating remark. Yes, cry your tears for poor old Harry's wife who has been left distraught. It's quite possible that you may need to set up a GoFundMe for the support of women of colour who fall to the floor sobbing, to perhaps bring her the treatment that she needs to cope with that particularly debilitating disorder. You may also want to consider perhaps she could be enrolled into a support group for those who belong to the cadre of individuals whereby it's one tear, left eye, go. As doubtless she attempts to squeeze out some crocodile tears as a consequence of imagining every single injustice that has been meted out against her. Imagining that the cameras are rolling to pick up on her misery, or that the ginger poodle is about to come bounding through the doorway. You just might muster up some sympathy to learn that Harry's wife has been left distraught following the criticism she received from Spotify executive Bill Simmons. The head of podcast innovation and monetization at Spotify dubbed her and Prince Harry grifters, according to one source. The criticism came after the couple's $20 million deal with the company ended after Harry's wife's podcast, Archetypes, only ever released 12 episodes. Following the end of their partnership with the audio streaming service, the Sussexes are continuing to produce new content with Netflix. However, the source added that the couple may need to rethink their approach as a joint brand if they want to continue monetizing their content. In a statement released last month, both Spotify and Archwell Audio, Harry and Harry's wife's production company, said they had mutually agreed to part ways. But there were soon concerns that the streaming giant had been let down by a lack of output from the estranged royals. In an episode released on Spotify, the executive said, "I wish I had been involved in the Harry and Harry's wife leave Spotify negotiation. The fucking grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them." In America, the term grifters is often used to describe someone who engages in petty swindling or low-level deception. Harry's wife was less than impressed, with a source telling Closer magazine, "Harry's wife is distraught over this Spotify snub and the fallout that has followed. It's totally knocked her sideways. She can't believe she's been attacked so viciously and so publicly by one of their execs, and to be labelled grifters is an utterly humiliating and gut-wrenching all-time low. It served as a brutal reality check that things really do need to change to save their popularity. Her team have warned her that there's no future with Harry and that she needs to start working on her individual projects rather than being seen as one half of Brand Sussex." Oh dear. She can't believe she's been attacked so viciously. This is a very good example of how her narcissism functions, and to help you understand that she just doesn't understand how anybody can attack her. It would knock her sideways, but the relating of this information, of course, is by way of pity play. Harry's wife can't see that she's a talentless no-mark. She just can't. Her narcissism doesn't let it happen. You can see it, I can see it, those over there can see it. Most people can see it, but she can't. Her narcissism doesn't allow her to do it. And when she says it's totally knocked her sideways, she can't believe she's been attacked so viciously and so publicly, and that it's utterly humiliating and a gut-wrenching all-time low, she believes it. She says it to whoever was listening by way of a pity play, and then this is amplified through the media to try and make people feel sorry for her, that she's been unnecessarily picked upon, that she has been roasted in this way, attacked viciously. She doesn't think to herself, "I kind of deserved it really because my output was shit and the material was absolute utter wank." No, she's not able to comprehend that. And therefore, instead, she doles out this pity play to try and nullify the threat to control posed by what Mr. Simmons has said, and bangs on about being distraught, etc. It doesn't last. She soon bounces back. As soon as the narcissism has asserted control once again, she moves on. But she'll be repeatedly threatened by this because people will bring it up time and time again, referencing the fact that she's been described as a grifter. She really doesn't see that she behaves that way, despite the fact that so many other people can see that is clearly the way that she does behave. And thus, the world gets treated to another instance of the sobbing Harry's wife and her pity plays, because after all, if something goes wrong for her, it's never her fault, and you must always feel sorry for her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.